Today on Broken Prism Reviews, we're going to talk about the Forevergone. The Forevergone is a card combat game similar to Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. The difference is you'll have different disciplines here doing psychic damage to each other through thought damage and trauma. The different disciplines are color coordinated and symbol located, so that way if you have color blindness, you'll be able to sort it out. The rule books are pretty clear, and there's even a discount code for some theme music. This right here is all the contents of one package of the Forevergone. Those 4 gold bordered cards are collector's art. Every package comes with a random 4 card. So flipping over the rules here, it's 6 card faces, 3 cards front and back. They show you the story, gives you that flavor text, and it tells you about the game. That you're a psychic warrior doing battle. The requirements, 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. Once you're familiar with the game, it should take less than about 30 minutes, 30 minutes or less. Here's all the materials that come in the game, so you can count them down, make sure you got everything. And the different disciplines, illusionist, egoist, kineticist, telepath, and seer. Next card goes over the rules here, so you sort out the different disciplines, and then you'll choose a primary and then a secondary. It shows you how to lay your cards there and cycle through them. Here on the rules, it shows you the different cards are power, reactions, and tech. Tech are kind of like, a wall that you would build and put out front. Power is your spell that you're doing, and your reaction is your counter to that spell. And every discipline has their own. In the rules, this explains the activation cards and the anatomy of the card, what the discipline is, its logo and color, the power activation cost, which we'll get into later, I think is a cool mechanic. Where the flavor text is, the action text, and the ability type. Pretty clearly laid out there for you. On the back, it's going to give you a rundown here. This is the last page of the rules. A turn. There's the opening, the draw phase, activation, reactions, resolution, additional activation if there is one. So you'll be referring to this page quite a bit your first time through, but eventually you'll learn the flow of the game and how battle works. When you're all done, it's wraps up, you can do a whole new game. So, once you have the various decks sorted by discipline, take turns selecting your primaries. I'm a pretty big fan of attack, so I'm going to take the kineticist. The other player, he's more of an illusionist. He likes magic, so he's going to take the illusionist. I like the idea of stopping incoming attacks, so I'm going to take the telepath as my secondary, and they like ego, so you egoist, they're going to take that. So that's removed from play. And then you come through and find all the 3s in your secondary deck and remove them from play. That way you have your primary, which is 1, 2, 3, and your secondary is only 1s and 2s. You both do that, remove your 3s from play, and then shuffle your primary and secondary together. So when you first set up, you'll have your hand and your ether, the opponent's ether, your opponent's hand. In this space will be their memory, and in this space will be their trauma, and in this space will be their tech. Same thing over here, my tech, my memory, and my ether, or trauma. Alright, so let's get going. So whoever goes first, let's say I'll go first since I'm the only human here. I will look at my hand. When I go to activate that 1 cost, I have to discard any of these other cards down to my memory. But this one deals 2 trauma to target's memory. That does me no good right now, because right now they have no memory. So as cool as that is to have in your opening hand, Ego Whip doesn't help you until second turn. So I'm going to set these down and get you a better turn lookout. So for my turn, I'm going to use Energy Bolt, which lets me pull 1 thought at random from the opponent's hand and send that thought to trauma. Then everyone's going to draw 1 card. I'm going to spend my 1 activation cost by discarding 1 card to my memory. So that's in my memory. This I'm activating, which lets me take 1 of their cards at random and put it in their trauma. Alright? So far, so good. Sorry that got so blurry there. So again, this card, again, let me take one of their cards and put it in their trauma. Play one card to memory for its activation cost. And then everyone draws one card. So I'll draw a card into his hand. And he'll draw a card. And then it's their turn. They didn't want to react this time. They could have reacted. They had some pretty cool reactions. Like this one. They could have absorbed all the trauma for one attack at the cost of 2. So discard 2 to their memory. And they could choose to send shield the trauma. So if he had done that, then I would have had to take this to my trauma. But he didn't, so this goes to my memory, I'm pretty positive. So on the opponent's turn, they're going to play Psionic Blast, Energy Burst. When I attack, blah, 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 pull one thought at random from the target's hand, send that to trauma. So they're going to play that, which means they're going to take one card at random here and send it to trauma, right? And send it to trauma. Unless I play a reaction like this, which then deal 2 trauma to target's ether. So if I do that, then it resolves. They're not going to play any other reactions, and we resolve it out. So, as a reaction, at the cost of 1, so I'll put 1 in my memory, and 1 there. I'm going to do 2 damage to their trauma, bam, to their ether, and then they'll have done that, which is the 1 here to here, which is my trauma. I got 3 in my memory, they get 1 in their memory, I get this one back to my memory, right, it's my reaction, and that's how that resolves. So, 4 in memory, 2 in my hand, there, all that's good. So now it's my turn, and the draw phase comes in. I'm going to take 3 cards on the draw phase, giving me 5 cards, which is very nice. And then there's also a rule, if you have more than 8 cards here, you have to discard the trauma. So you do want to play them down, so that way you don't end a turn with more than 8. This 4 in memory is kind of cool. So again, various targets are, you can target their ether, you can target their memory, and you can target their trauma. Their hands are targets where you can steal cards depending on the card you have and send it away. Whenever I do a action of some sort, I mean, I haven't really looked at my cards in a while. I do an action, they're going to want to react to that. I can react to that reaction, they can react again, and then we resolve down. Well, of course, I have to just spend for those points, but as you resolve down, things go everywhere. They go here, they go here. When this is empty, you shuffle this back in and discard 1 to trauma. So this whole game is going to be completely attrition. As you go, you'll continue to lose points until you have 15 in here. Once you have 15 trauma, you're done. You're out of the game, and that is everything. You are forever gone. Hi, Matthew here with Broken Prism Games. I finally got my banner up, as you can see. I had made it for the Dallas Comic-Con a while ago, and it's been rolled up in a tube since. And I figured if I had this thing with my website, brokenprismgames.com, I could point to it, you'd be able to quickly see from my video where to go to find more content like this. But today we're talking about the Forevergone. You'll have seen from my first half of my video, my playthrough and my kind of unboxing and showing what's all in it, the different disciplines and how it all goes together, how you build your primary discipline and your secondary discipline and all of that. Sorry about the lighting's kind of a nightmare. But getting back into doing reviews, been a while off. I've got a lot of games to catch up on. But today, again, we're still just talking about the Forevergone. It's kind of deck building, but once you have your deck, you're just kind of managing your deck. A lot of the way Magic the Gathering works, but then so does most deck building games. What's that other? Star Citizen? That doesn't sound right. The one with ships that I play on my phone a lot. Again, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the Forevergone. I found it very intriguing. I really like the art, which I'll show you again here. I think they took their time. When I look at prototypes from the Game Crafter, I don't ever get anything cool with collector's art like this. What I typically get is something made by a third grade class or some guy in Israel or Italy sending his files online, emailing me in broken English. But again, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the Forevergone. So in the Forevergone, you are again a seer of sorts, causing trauma to the opponent. And when you cause your trauma, you have different targets, whether you're targeting their ether, which is their draw deck, but thematically it's the ether, or if you're targeting their, sorry, let my cat in, memories, which are their played cards that are waiting to be reshuffled into their ether, or their hand, or their trauma deck. So the trauma is the negative discard, so cards that you played that got canceled, or cards the other person's power that you forgot to react to caused you to discard. Those go to your trauma, and that's your kind of your hit points, if you will. Once you're at 15 trauma, you're out, and trauma comes in all sorts of manners. Like I was saying, other players' powers, your failure to react, their tech, the way you play your power and they react can cause you trauma. Those are all the main ways that you get hosed when your trauma goes up. Also, as you play, if you're playing too well or too cautiously, you'll have more than 8 cards in your hand when you begin your turn, or during one of the steps it says discard down to 8, and for each card above 8 that you have to discard could go to trauma. So one of the other disciplines makes you draw a bunch of cards. You're like, woohoo! But if you don't spend those cards, it's a sneaky way to cause you trauma. So there's a lot of clever thematic ways of this game. A lot of people will jump out the gate and say, oh, it's just magic. No. There's plenty of interesting and different things about this. Everything from the only collectible part of this game is the additional fancy art. When you buy the game, you have enough to play, 2 players. I think with 4 players, you get 2 copies of the game, so you can do different disciplines. I'm not 100% certain on that, and that's the cool thing about reviews. I get to be wrong. You can't hold that against me. But you can check it out for yourself at theforevergone.com, or here on my webpage. I will have some more details. Under this video will be a whole block of text on my webpage at brokenprismgames.com that explain all the things that in this video I got wrong and wanted to clarify. But it fills up the time for the Forevergone. Again, show you some more sweet art and that formatting. Give you flavor text, block text, power, indicators, your different disciplines up here, the cost to activate the card. That's another cool thing. I'm glad I went through that because I'm inspired as I do my videos to talk about other things. That cost to activate is kind of cool. You have to discard other cards from your hand into your memory to cast this. So you don't have like a mana pool, and then every turn you can cast 1 card or 2 power cards or 7 power cards or some red and some white. None of that bull. This is frankly whatever you have in your hand. If you got discarded down to 1 card, then you can't play this, but that's highly unlikely. And it's very nice. So thanks again for watching my video. We're going to run the outro credits that talk about the Geekcast Network and all the other things I'm affiliated with. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for checking out a United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to unitedgeeksnetwork.com, where you will find Rolling Dice and Taking Names, a podcast by guys who have a passion for tabletop games and happen to have mics. They discuss all forms of tabletop gaming, from board games to miniatures to RPGs. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at unitedgeeksnetwork.com.
Oh yeah, also subscribe. Subscribe to my videos. If you subscribe and comment, and I'm opening the article on my webpage at brokenprismgames.com about this game with a comment section. Comment in there to enter to win a chance to get one of these extra copies they sent me. They sent me some extra copies and are willing to send me a couple more. So right now there stands to be 2 winners, because I'm keeping 1 copy for myself because this game is awesome. But if they send me some more, we can open up some more winners. But comment in there, and then I'll reach out to you via email, or I think you have to become a member on my website. It's all new. It's all new at Broken Prism Games, so bear with me. And you'll also see it's also tied into my main website, which is MatthewRyanRobinson.com, which is me. I'm Matthew Ryan Robinson. And I do other things, like I'm trying to lose weight. As you can see, I probably, need to. And I just thought I heard a noise outside. If you want me to have better lighting, subscribing, and then, donating. I'd take donations, or if there's a game you really want to see me review, send me a couple bucks and I'll review it, and then I'll be able to buy better stuff. Like editing this is roughly 10 minutes of video. It's going to take me probably 2 hours to edit together, and then it's still going to kind of look like shit. So, I invite you to subscribe or donate or get on my PayPal brokenprism.com or brokenprism@gmail.com. Do anything to support the channel. Support the channel, get cooler stuff. Thank you very much. Bye. Also, I want to show you my little buddy, Widget. And then Gizmo's around here somewhere.
Tell me what we